Hi guys, welcome back to another video with me here at the Aspiring Home Cook. Today we're in for an absolute treat. We're going to whip up a batch of vegetable pakoras. Now these are little bite-sized treats that are popular all throughout India and now increasingly throughout the world. You can make them with an assortment of vegetables and they're known by a bunch of names. In some parts of the country, they're also called bhajiyas. Today we're going to make two varieties, one using onions and another using potatoes. The recipe really is very simple and you can easily whip up a batch for afternoon tea or serve this up as a snack or a starter to a main meal. Today we're going to start off with some onion pakoras or Kanda Bhajiyas. Let's have a look at the ingredients you're going to need. I have one large onion finely sliced, a little bit of turmeric powder, half a teaspoon of chili powder. This is Kashmiri chili powder, which is mild. I've also got ajwain, or ajwain as some people call it. In English, we just call these carom seeds or bishop's weed. I'm just going to use a nice big pinch of that. I've got one large bird's eye chili finely chopped. And I've got about 3/4 of a cup of chickpea flour, also called chane ka atta or besan. I've got some salt, and you're also going to need oil to deep fry. I start off by preheating some oil for deep frying in a wok over medium heat, and I've got a plate lined with kitchen paper set aside for when I start frying these pakoras. Start off by splitting those slices of onions between your fingers, just like I'm doing over here. You're just trying to split the layers apart in these slices. I'm now going to add the chilies into the bowl with the onions. Add about 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder, about 3/4 of a cup of chane ka atta or chickpea flour, and your chili powder. Now I'm going to add in that ajwain. Before I put it into the bowl, I'm just lightly going to bruise those seeds using my thumb just to get the flavors out and going. Now you're going to add some salt to taste and give this a good mix using your hands. Sorry, I had my battery run out right there. I have added a little bit of water to the batter to get it to this consistency. If your onion mix is looking too dry or doesn't look like it has sufficient batter, you can always add a little more chickpea flour or besan and add your water gradually and mix it through to get that consistency. By now your oil should have heated up. You can check to see if it's ready by carefully dropping in a tiny bit of the batter. If it drops to the bottom and rises immediately with bubbles around like you see here, your oil is hot enough and you can proceed. Using a spoon, drop in little portions of your onion batter into the oil very carefully. Remember, you've got a large pot of hot oil going here. Always drop away from you and carefully. Now you will find that there's loads of recipes for bhajiyas or pakoras available on the internet. This recipe that I'm sharing with you today is one I learned from my mum. She would whip this up for us sometimes as an after-school snack. And to this day, it's an absolute treat when we make this. We don't make it too often, but when we do, everyone enjoys it. Try and not overcrowd the pan when you're frying the pakoras. Once you've got your pakoras in the oil, let them cook till they've gotten a nice shade of golden brown. Right about now, you can see that the edges of the pakoras have started turning a nice golden brown. I'm going to just gently and very carefully flip them over to have them cooked through on the other side as well. While the pakoras are cooking, you might need to turn them over a couple of times just to ensure that they cook through evenly and thoroughly on both sides. Once you're happy that the pakoras have managed to get a nice golden brown color on both sides, carefully take them out of the oil. Let the excess oil drip off back into the wok and place these pakoras on a plate lined with kitchen paper to absorb any extra oil. And you can proceed to fry the rest of the pakora batter in batches till you're done with it. And that's what your onion fritters or your Kanda Bhajiya will look like. Let's move on to the second type of pakoras using potatoes. I've got about 3/4 of a cup of chickpea flour, one large potato that I've sliced. I've sliced this quite thin, like you can see here. Got about 1/2 teaspoon of red chili powder, again a nice big pinch of ajwain or carom seeds, some turmeric powder and some salt. I'm going to start by adding all the dry herbs and spices to the chickpea flour. So first I'm adding a pinch of ajwain or carom seeds. I'm going to lightly crush that between my fingers before putting them in. The chili powder, about 1/8 to 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder, and salt to taste. I'm very quickly going to mix all these spices through that flour, just using my fingers here. And I'm going to gradually add some water and whisk it all together till I get a nice, smooth consistency. Now I'm going to check and see whether my batter is actually thin enough to coat my slices of potato. I'm going to do this by dipping one of the slices and checking to see whether it flows off easily. Right now the batter is coating it in a very thick layer, so that's how I know I need to add a tiny bit more water. And I'm going to add some water and whisk it all through thoroughly. I'm now going to dip a slice of potato into the batter again and check and see how it's coating that slice. Now I can see that the batter is dripping off much easier and it's a much thinner layer of batter around that potato slice. That's how I know that my batter is thin enough. Now I'm going to use the same wok of oil that I used to fry my onion pakoras, so I know my oil is already hot enough. All you're left to do now is dip the slice of potato well into that batter so that it's coated on all sides, and carefully and gently place that slice into the oil. And you're going to do that for about a few more slices, making sure you don't overcrowd the pan. And you're going to let these pakoras fry off till they get a nice golden brown color, like you did for the previous ones. When you see them getting a little bit of color on the bottom, you're going to carefully flip them over to cook them through on the other side as well. And once you've got a beautiful golden brown color on both sides of the pakoras, they are ready. You can carefully fish them out of the oil and set them aside on a plate lined with kitchen paper to drain off and absorb any excess oil. And in the same way, you're going to continue to fry the rest of your potatoes after dipping them in the batter. And that's it, guys. That's how simple it is to make vegetable pakoras at home from scratch. These are the onion ones that we did first, followed by the slices of potatoes or the potato bhajiyas or pakoras. These are best served nice and hot with some tomato ketchup. At least that's my favorite way to eat these. I hope you enjoyed today's recipe video. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And please go ahead and try the recipe and let me know what you think of it. As always, I'll leave the link to the complete recipe in the description box below. Go ahead and share this video with family and friends that you think will enjoy it. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more such delicious videos. Click on that little bell icon to get alerts every time a new video goes live. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you really soon with another delicious recipe. Till then, take care. Bye.